Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I will be your intuitive guide and your reader. So today we're going to focus on this Capricorn super full moon that we have coming on the 13th of July. So it's coming up in a few days here next week, and it's the biggest full moon of the year. So that being said, I think it's very conceivable and possible that a lot of you are feeling the effects in the solar area. So the bloating, the swelling, the kind of the round breasts, round tummy, that sort of thing. It may even feel or look like you're pregnant, whether you're a man or woman. Okay, so things, you might be having these kind of experiences of pregnancy, and this moon is leading us towards this energy of self-knowledge. But it's a very grounded energy because it's in the earth sign of Capricorn, and it's asking us to take responsibility for our lives and what direction we're choosing to take them in. Now you couple this with the Saturn retrograde in Aquarius and the Jupiter in Aries, and you've got this interesting mix of energies. And this is just to give you a snapshot or a screenshot of what's going on. There's other planets at play as well, but I'm choosing to focus on these three. And in particular for this reading, we're focusing on the full moon because I feel like its effects are being widely felt, especially in regards to the swollen energy, like the swollen kind of like water weight. You may be carrying a lot of water weight right now because our bodies, especially women's bodies, are tuned to the tides. So you're feeling these effects probably in different ways. But if one thing that's for sure, if you're not fulfilled and you feel like you're not happy, this is the full moon that's going to sit you down and have that conversation with you that says, what could you do differently to bring about more joy, more lightness, more of the energy of creating abundance in your life? And where have you maybe self-sabotaged? Capricorn's energy is a very responsible energy. It's the energy of the goat, and it is connected to the energy of a hard worker. So oftentimes if you have a native sun sign in Capricorn, or somebody with a rising or north node, or even south node, you might see that individual, that native, is very even addicted. There can be an addiction to work, an addiction to their job, just a real connection to that. And that could be the place that brings them a lot of joy and brings them a lot of abundance. But again, with that comes, great responsibility. So we are taking responsibility for why things have unfolded the way they have in our lives, why they've been challenging, why certain things have been easy, why relationships haven't worked out, why we haven't found our path yet or our soul tribe, or in what ways we maybe haven't been authentic with ourselves. And again, you couple this with the Saturn retrograde. And guys, I'm offering Saturn retrograde readings, personal, individualized live readings with me. It's a 60-minute phone call. And we're going to focus on what house this retrograde is in for you and how that's going to affect you over the next, it's a 4.5 month retrograde, but we're about a month in. So for the next 3.5 months until the end of October, we're going to talk about how this is going to affect you individually and what you can focus on, because this can feel like a very doom and gloom energy. Saturn is the instigator of change. And then the full moon, of course, requiring us to let go of something, to release something. So Saturn comes in with this heavy-hitting energy that says, what are you willing to let go of? And Saturn, there's I can't think of it. See if it'll come to me. He's the taskmaster, the grandfather, that stern grandfather energy. It's all about responsibility. It's about integrity. It's about how we show up for ourselves. And this will play out, and again, depending on which area of your chart this is affecting, it'll come to me hopefully. But what's important to understand about this full moon is what is within our control and what isn't. So don't get so kind of caught up in the energies that it's not that the planets are omens and dictating to us our lives and the direction of our lives, but rather they're wandering stars, and they're showing us a path or a way that might be better than the way or path that we're currently on. They're giving us a blueprint. It's a blueprint, if you will. That's how I look at your natal chart. It's a blueprint. And that's why I'm so excited about these readings, guys. I've taken the focus off of twin flames. I don't offer twin flame readings. It is not conducive to your growth at this point in the journey to be focusing on, it really never was, but it's definitely not now conducive to, for me to tell you what your twin is doing, what they're up to, what about their karmic relationship, their marriage, who they're with, any of that. That's actually going to sabotage and it's going to stifle your growth. So what I've chosen to focus on out of my own integrity is the astrology of what's coming in, because it's so strong for the next few years. It's been strong since 2020, let's face it, with the world events. And there was a lot of astrology connected to that, a lot of Mars energy connected to this, Uranus energy. Uranus is the disruptor, but so is Saturn in its own way. So we have these disruption energies at play, this chaoticness, and it's showing up in your own individual charts. But I want to empower you to use this information. Your north node, that's another reading I offer, your north and south node. So we go over the astrology of your birth chart. We look at something most astrologers don't. We look at your north node. This is your destined path in this lifetime. And then we look at the south node, which is the complete polar opposite on the astrological wheel. And we look at where you've been and where you're going, and the gifts and the talents you're bringing and the karma you're resolving. Guys, this is such an influential reading. It's such an impactful reading. These astrological readings I'm doing are my favorite readings by far to do. So I'm offering those to you. If you'd like to book, reach out to me at the email listed below and we'll get you booked in. I'm very excited to work with you guys. I love that these are live and I get to talk to you on the phone and we get to connect in that way. Very, very just high energy, these readings. And again, like the twin flame readings were draining me. These readings give me energy. They actually feed me energy because I love looking at astrology again as a blueprint, not as something that's written in stone or, you know, like, oh, Mercury's retrograde, it's the end of the world, but rather, okay, now that I know this, now let this empower me to make decisions based on what I know. So it's all about knowledge, in my opinion. So this full moon in Capricorn, going back to the full moon here, and I'm going to get to the cards in a minute, guys, but I wanted to give you this introduction about what's going on here. This full moon is very powerful, and the sea goat, right? This Capricorn energy has the energy, very like sustainable, almost like euphoric energy, endurance type energy to be able to make it to the end of the race. And this energy, it's like Capricorn will come out on top. Capricorn will work the long hours and, burning the midnight oil, and will come out on the other side and be like, yeah, you guys might have been playing and partying, but I got the work done and now I get to go to like Bora Bora or Bermuda or wherever. Now I get to go and I get to, relax and rest for a month because of all the hard work I put in. It's hard work in the efforts you put in, which equal dividends, which equal success. Okay, so this is about your success in some way. And especially if this falls in your 10th house, this moon, this speaks to me of even greater success, even greater capability for this moon to be influential in your career, your ambition, your career goals, and those, what it is that you hope to achieve in the near future here. So we are being taught with this full moon to honor what we are and where we are, and to appreciate, that our energy is precious, the energy that we're spending on, certain endeavors in our lives. Like, where do we want to focus our energy and time? What is truly worth our while? Is it really worth your while to, look over and peek and see what the twin is up to? Or do you think it's more worth your energy and while to devote this time, this energy, and this quietness, or this separation that you might be in with your counterpart, to yourself and to bettering yourself, to your mission? And I can't stress this enough to the divine feminines. Your work on this earth is so important, especially right now. This is what we came here for. And if you're over there focusing and looking over the fence and focusing on your twin and, oh gosh, they're married or they're doing this or they're doing that and it hurts me, you're hurting yourself. You're inviting in more pain. Look only in the direction that's in front of you. If your twin happens to be in front of you, and if they're coming back and showing up in a way that's out of integrity, then from there you can start anew. But do not go back and repeat old cycles. This full moon is all about releasing what hasn't worked or what isn't working. Now, I do want to point out before we go to the cards here that Pluto is kind of hanging out very close to this full moon. And Pluto carries a heavier energy around it. It is the god of the unconscious, the subconscious, the god of the underworld. It is the co-ruler of Scorpio. Mars also rules Scorpio. So we have kind of the scorpionic vibe or energy coming in. So you may find yourself a little sullen or even a little depressed with this energy, focused on death, focused on your own mortality. Those sort of energies can be coming up at this time. And you may need to really face some of those uncomfortable truths or questions that have been sort of in your mind that you may have pushed down, right? Because you didn't want to deal with it. So some things are going to need to come to an end. There might be some goodbyes that need to occur. But whatever is happening, guys, remembering that it's for your highest good is what's really going to bring about, the change that's required and necessary at this time. So give yourself the credit where credit is due, like where you've been and where you're going, and understand that there are things that are out of your control and then there are things that you can control. So let's take a look and see what the cards have to say. That was a rather long introduction, but I hope you guys can hear it in my voice, the excitement that I have when I'm talking about astrology, the excitement I have when I'm talking about these energies and how you can use them to your advantage, how you can use them to progress and create momentum in your life and bring in more joy and more abundance and more expansion. And instead of, sort of dreading these retrogrades or dreading these planetary transits, there are tougher transits for sure. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. For instance, if you have Saturn transiting your 8th house in Aquarius right now, that's a tough transit. Saturn in the 6th house can be tough. That's, health and healing. 8th house is death, taxes, and other people's money. So there are some tougher transits to look out for. But again, the more you understand about the transits, the more power you have. And that will enable you to get through them with a little bit, with an easier time, and maybe even appreciate them when all is said and done. So let's take a look at some of the cards here. Interesting. So we have the Judgment card coming through, which is truth in this deck. So we're starting off with a strong energy, major arcana. So yeah, this full moon is illuminating the truth, which means it's going to put to bed or put to rest those things that are false. We're seeing this on a global scale, on a very grand, wide scale now. It's getting harder and harder to turn your eyes away from what it is that you're seeing or hearing or understanding or knowing or comprehending. And again, I've expressed this in videos, sharing this with you guys. I've seen this in my world with my friends and family, and it's kind of awe-inspiring to see that people really are waking up and people really are starting to come to an understanding on their own terms, in their own time of what's going on in the world, what's really happening out there, why all of this has occurred over the past 2.5 years, and really how this is creating an overhaul. It's creating an overhaul of the system, financial systems, the healthcare system, food system, all of these things. We're seeing banking systems. We're seeing this all, they're all undergoing this overhaul. And it's creating a lot of fear and anger in people, and people are lashing out, at the wrong people, and people are getting frustrated. And in many ways, it's creating a lot of anxiety. So we're having these solar plexus symptoms. So fascinating that I did a reading yesterday and we got 3 solar plexus cards, one for the collective, one for the feminine, one for the masculine. So here it comes up again. So very clear message that our solar plexus is undergoing an activation of sorts or healing of sorts, and that things are moving in that area. So it could be beneficial right now to eat foods that are yellow to nourish that solar plexus. Bananas, bell peppers, maybe egg yolk. I'm just thinking of different foods, squash, different foods that will nourish that solar plexus. But for some of you, it could be that you have an overactive solar plexus right now, and you might be getting some of the symptoms of bloating, nausea, indigestion, heartburn, vomiting, those sorts of things. So you want to just be mindful. And if you are one of those people that's experiencing those not so pleasant side effects of the solar plexus upgrade, or activation, then you may want to limit your intake of foods at this time. Maybe focus on bland food, something that's less acidic. And, you know, if you can tolerate it, lemon water. Lemon water seems like it would be acidic, but it's actually, it alkalizes the body. So yeah, if there's a lot of acid happening, or like a burning sensation, very uncomfortable, you want to quell that. Watermelon juice would be good. I'm just thinking of foods that are cooling. Ginger, not good right now for the majority of people who are experiencing the solar plexus symptoms. It will actually feed the fire, and that indigestion could get much, much worse. So keeping this in mind, like there is this, you know, as you speak your truth, as you live your truth, okay, as you go through your own judgment, judging of yourself. And again, this is very much so in alignment with the Capricorn full moon. As I judge myself, I can move forward. As I free myself from judgment, self-judgment or judgment of others, I can move forward in my life. And then the solar plexus coming online here, this energy that is very much in alignment with what's happening with a lot of the collective, in particular the feminine collective at this time. And we see that as we speak our truth and live our truth, we heal the solar plexus, because the solar plexus is the center and seat of your personal power. So the more that you can live in a place of truth, revealing the truth, creating clarity, you know, going through the spiritual awakening, coming out the other side of this, it's like we're going through an evaluation of the past, the lessons that have been learned. This is what we do when we reach a full moon. What have I learned prior to this full moon? What cycles am I completing? What am I moving away from? And what am I moving towards? We have to empty our hands so we can then fill up our hands with something new. So there's a significant change that will be occurring in some area of our lives with a super full moon. But we want to make sure that we are creating change with intention and not just out of haste. So no hasty decisions at this time. Use you know, the knowledge that you have within Divine Feminine to really tap into that cosmic consciousness and to be that cosmic player, you know, that you came here to be. Let's take a look at the energies for... Let's take a look here, the energies for the feminine. Interesting. Spiritual strength. Let me take a look here. It's been a while since I've used this deck, so I want to take a look. I'm trying to remember which suite this is. I thought so. So this is the Nine of Cups. That's what I thought. It was green. Interesting. This is an interesting rendition of the Nine of Cups. That's why I was questioning it. So this is the energy, you know, of wish fulfillment. In this deck, it talks about spiritual strength. So like you can't reach that wish fulfillment until you have spiritual strength. So I'd like to take a look here. Wait a second. Oh, okay. It's not the Nine of Cups. That's why it didn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, guys. This is I think it's actually the Nine of Wands, which says keep going. But let me just clarify that. Let me... Wrong again. No. Oh, wait a second. Is this... Now I have to decipher if this is indigo. Okay, give me a second. We're getting there. Okay. So this is, the Nine of Wands. Okay. My bad. So the Nine of Wands, yes, this is a card of success, spiritual strength and success, meaning you've passed the test. Don't give up now. You know, the traditional Nine of Wands says, don't give up now. Don't give up on the vision that you have for your life. Don't give up on what it is that you desire. Look, what is sort of being... what is happening right now is we're not necessarily seeing clearly. Things aren't what they seem. And so we can be going after a wish or a desire and it's like, well, it's not happening. It's not coming to fruition. Like what is going on, Sarah? It's because things are happening the way we need them to, not the way we want them to. And this is going to continue to happen as we let go more and more of our attachment to this humanness, this human self, this avatar that we're so attached to, the way we look and the way we dress and the car we drive and the money in our bank account and the house and all of these material things that don't mean a damn thing on the other side. It's how have you lived? Have you lived in alignment with your truth? Do you have the spiritual strength to live in alignment with your truth? When you have the spiritual strength, that solar plexus will balance out. We are being tested right now. How strong are you? How committed are you to your goal? Not to the goal of making X amount of money or X amount of clients, but to the goal of becoming who you came here to be. So I know you guys are tired. I know a lot of you are like, fuck this journey, I'm exhausted. But this is not the time to give up. The Nine of Wands is all about victory is ahead. Do not give up. Keep on going. So this is a message to the Divine Feminines. Keep on going and understand. Look, do not make it a goal to come into physical union with your counterpart. That's like a surefire way to not come into physical union because you're focused on the wrong thing. If you make it a goal to come into inner union, to know thyself, to walk this path solo if you need to, and to be a sovereign being, to be that warrior of the heart, warrior of the worlds and the cosmos, and to connect to other like-minded souls, and to make a difference, to make a dent and make a change as people go through this awakening, to help others through it, okay, to provide comfort and safety and security for others, then what's going to happen is you're going to find a physical reunion or union, whatever is in the cards for you. But it's not guaranteed, okay? So we have to do the work. So for any of you still struggling with that, like, I just want to be with my counterpart. That's all I want. If that's your only goal right now, there is work to be done on your end. That it will not get you to a place of physical union. These readers out there telling you, bling bling, he's putting a ring on it, or unions tomorrow is complete bullshit. It's unfortunately it's a way to amass followers, and it's creating more pain for you. If anyone out there, I don't think a lot of my listeners are watching readers like that, but if you're watching or they're talking about the karmic, this is not aligning you with where you need to be, because it's not focusing on you, it's focusing something outside of you that you can't ever control. So bring the focus back, bring everything back, bring the love back, the admiration, the attention back to yourself, because that is where you're going to truly see the change that you desire, okay? And then it will be expressed physically by the movement of the physical twin towards you, but only then. Yeah, it's interesting. The masculine has the Five of Cups. So they're feeling a lot of pain in the heart space right now. They're feeling, an emotional loss. They feel empty. They feel vacant. They feel like, I don't understand how this happened or when this happened, but they're feeling that the feminine, they're actually finally feeling, wow, the feminine has walked away. If you give me 1 second, guys, I'm just going to turn this light on. Sun's starting to go down little by little. All right, that's a little better. So apologize for the lighting. They're feeling that you have walked away, okay? And you don't have to have done anything physically. This is energetically. They felt you pull away. They felt you start to really focus on yourself, really focus on your life and getting your affairs in order. Just like they were doing when they were in the runner stage. They just didn't have the time or the energy. And they might have said that, like, I love you, but I don't have the time or energy for this. Now you're feeling that way, and they're feeling the way you felt. They're feeling the loss and the pain. They're going through grief and heartache, okay? Interesting, a very different energy for the masculines is the Six. Interesting. We've got the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands. Both of these speak to victory, but the Nine of Wands is more about don't give up. Keep going. You've almost reached where it is that you desire, where it is that you're going. You're almost there. Just keep going. Look, you're crossing the finish line. You just have to keep, oh, no, don't miss it because you're so close. The Six of Wands is more about receiving recognition for what it is that you've achieved. Now, these are both cards that deal with the spiritual realm. So it's the Wands energy. It's the energy of, the energy of the esoteric, the energy of the divine, the energy that we can't see, but we can feel and experience. So I want to get a clarifier for this because it's not totally painting a picture for me or making sense with these two cards. All right, so let's get two clarifiers here. Interesting, a lot of Wands energy. Yeah, the universe is definitely setting things up here for the counterparts. Accelerate emotion, this is the Eight of Wands. Those of you guys who know the traditional tarot will know this as the card that talks about very swift moving energy, swift action, something happening very quickly. Like I believe this is trying to depict a shooting star, I'm not sure, but something happening quickly. So success is, I feel like sometimes the Eight of Wands will indicate that somebody is making a move towards you, a very rapid move towards you. So there are some masculines who could be coming back in saying, you know, I want to, you know, this Capricorn full moon, creating a lot of solar plexus activation, bringing up the truth and the spiritual strength. It's testing us. It's really testing us and triggering us. There's a lot of triggers out there, but it's also creating this accelerated motion. It's going to help something die that needs to die within the masculine in order for them to create the success that they desire so that they can bring themselves out of this heartache, because they're not enjoying being in this space, by the way. They're not a fan of experiencing this, but now they're understanding what you went through. So this Capricorn full moon has far-reaching effects. They're also their root chakra, the base chakra, sitting at the base of the spine and the pelvis, is being worked on at this time. So both counterparts are, have this activation of the lower chakras. So interesting to see here. So this deals with their stability and their safety. So they're creating movement and change in, within I keep on wanting to say solar plexus, within the root chakra. So I think a lot of them may be securing homes and places, and honestly, with you in mind. You may not even know it. You may not even be speaking to them, but they're like, you know what? I'm creating this space for us with my counterpart in mind. This could also just mean that they are becoming more stable within themselves, creating a foundation and a home for themselves, which is, good because it's necessary. So let's get a card for the feminines. Ooh, opportunity, forgiveness, opportunity, going forward, and new beginnings. That's pretty clear. So there is an opportunity for forgiveness, okay? Opportunity for forgiveness coming in with this full moon, and that would make sense because we're opening our hands, we're releasing something to welcome something in. It's creating an opportunity for new beginnings and to move forward to greener pastures. So wherever it is that maybe you felt stuck or stagnant, because I know that is coming in, I know that that's prevalent right now. Feminines, I understand that. It's like, fuck this journey. I'm so tired of the lessons. I'm tired of the karmic tests. I'm tired of being put through the ringer. I've had enough. I've learned my lessons. Can't I just move forward in peace? Can't I just experience, what other people experience? Well, depending on what we came here to accomplish, it's going to look different. We're not like other people. And that's what I have to keep on reminding myself on this journey. I'm not like other people, and you're not like other people. And so when we signed up for this, we knew that we were going to feel alienated and lonely. We knew we were going to feel at times like we wanted to give up. We knew we were going to have to push through and really dig deep to find our strength. But we decided to do it anyway because we had faith in ourselves, and we had faith in humanity, and we had faith on, for this planet and for the future. And we wanted to come here to be the harbingers of light, the bearers of light. We wanted to change the world. Feminine, your place in this world is so important. Not because you're a twin flame, but because you're a light worker. And the twin flame love is eternal. It's cosmic. It's otherworldly. It does not rely on the physical union. Please, as much as you can, detach from the label, detach from the needing to come into physical union. That's where you're going to achieve true happiness and success and abundance, is separating from the label so that you can truly find your way and find your happiness and focus on self. I can say that over and over and over again until I'm blue in the face. we have clients that have gone through our first program. We're almost through the second program, but we have clients that have gone through our first program that, I mean, you guys have seen some of the testimonials. They're in completely different places than they were a year ago. It'll be a year next month that we started that program. They're in a completely different place. We've seen people go through tremendous changes, really find their power, find their voice, take their power back from the connection, from the counterpart, and fall into this beautiful inner union, and lots of abundance coming in. So we're excited to offer you guys our program. We're going to be offering a fall program. It's going to be different from previous programs. It's going to be more all-encompassing. We're going to be really focusing on the ascension journey, the symptoms, how to find your balance and your alignment when things seem so out of balance, and when you feel like you're misaligned, when you feel like nothing makes sense. Also, we're going to talk a lot about the physical symptoms. We're going to talk about how to bring your power back. We're going to talk about the chakra system. We're going to talk about the astrology of the events that are impacting you. We're going to talk about energy updates. We're going to talk about so much more. And we wanted to widen the audience here because we feel like this is much bigger than just twin flames. This is welcoming all star seeds and light workers and harbingers of the light to come in and work together, and for us to walk towards that door that humanity is opened, and walk through it together and create the change. And the more people that we can empower to step into their power and to step into alignment, the better off everybody is going to be on this journey. The better off everybody is going to be. It's just that the focus on twin flames is too narrow. It's become too narrow of a perspective. All right, so Divine Masculine, this Capricorn full moon on the 13th of July, bringing in wisdom. They're plunging deep. And you know, Capricorn is the sea goat. So here we have the energy of the ocean and the deep abyss of the ocean. And we have this mermaid energy that's coming in, along with the energy just of the peacefulness and the wisdom that happens when you go silent and you tune out and drown out the outside world and you go within. So they're focusing on the wisdom. They're focusing on what it is that's going to bring them peace and harmony. And I feel like the masculines are way less focused now on the trivial matters, the things that stole their attention and energy in the past, whether it's karmic relationships or karmic job or addictions, or just a way to try to divert their attention away from their own healing. Now they're focused on understanding, they're focused on educating themselves, they're focused on coming out of the dark and bringing things to the light and really healing those things. If there was any abuse that they suffered, they're now, with this full moon in particular and this eclipse season also with the Scorpio Taurus axis eclipses, they're focused on bringing themselves to a more honest place within themselves, being more honest, because, you know, somebody who's done the work and worked through their trauma, somebody who can talk about it, somebody who can share, somebody who can be vulnerable, somebody who isn't afraid to go to the places that are scary, somebody who can come out the other side of that and truly say, I've done the work, I've looked within, and where I didn't like what I saw, I made those changes. That's where I made the changes. So they're gaining a lot of wisdom. This is also because of the Saturn retrograde, however, how it may be influencing them. Saturn, you know, imparts wisdom. Saturn is a very wise old man. And he's a teacher, a very harsh teacher, if you will, but it's because he expects the best from his students. So the masculine is very much a student of life right now and a student of the cosmos, whether he or she knows it or not. Doesn't matter if they believe in it, it's still happening, right? Let's get a card for the masculines, and then we'll get a card for the feminines. Okay, all right, thank you. Masculines, a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. Ooh, they're dealing with, there we go, that realm of the heart, the realm of the emotions. A personal issue reaches resolution. So, Yeah, definitely they're gaining wisdom. I feel like this is an issue connected to home, the hearth, and the heart and family. So especially connected to the divine feminine, connected to mother energy. So they're doing some mother healing at this time with the full moon. And feminines, you both got full moon energy here with your cards. Full moon in Gemini, the sign of the twins, the sign of that inner union. The answers you need are coming. So your mind is very activated. This is a Mercurian energy. Your mind's very activated with this full moon in Capricorn. And you may find it hard to turn your mind off. So, embark on some mindfulness practices, breath work, slow yourself down if you haven't already. Many of us have been forced to slow down. So just really honor this cosmic shift that we are going through. Honor these transits, honor this full moon and all that it's providing us, all of the wisdom. Honor this Saturn retrograde, as much of a pain in the ass as it is. It's a mofo, but it also gives us gifts, and it also helps us understand ourselves and on an even deeper level. And then from there, we heal our relationships. We heal the way we communicate, the way we respond, the way we react. And we start to do things with more intention, do things with more diligence. We don't just act out of haste. We start to act more intentionally. And when you act intentionally, everything comes into alignment much easier. So I wish you guys peace for this full moon on the 13th. I wish you guys wisdom, and I wish you guys a very, very relaxed, enjoyable weekend. Look forward to the next video. And again, if you'd like to book personal sessions or if you're interested in the group, the next coaching group that's coming up in the fall, we're going to start a list to see anybody who's interested, and then we'll send out emails when the time comes for early bird and sign up and all of those good things. And lots more information to come on that, by the way. I just wanted to give you guys a taste. But looking forward to working with you guys, looking forward to doing your readings, and I will see you soon. Take good care.